Well, we got some members up today. That's good. Listen, I want members to go, and I guess everybody else that I'm going on vacation tonight. Actually, we're going to France to a friend of ours, son, a close friend. His son is getting married, and we're going to their wedding in Paris and down South France. So it'll be about 10, 12 days we'll be gone. But I'll try to check in occasionally and pay the bills. But wish me luck. I don't travel. I travel all right. I was a diplomatic courier, which I mean, 6-hour plane rides and probably a lot of traveling. And actually, yeah, Paris is nice. I mean, that's a sexy city. And remember the last time I was there, which was probably about 20 years ago. It was such a vibe I felt that I before I left, I put quarters in my shoes so that every time I took a step, I could try to remember how you feel. When something happens good in life, say, hey, I want that feeling all the time. So how do you capture that? And so that was me. Well, maybe I've had something in my shoe, like a pebble. It remind me that there's something there. Redna, how are you? Wow, how are you? David Morales. Well, tell me what you need help with. I mean, the problem, I just did a video yesterday, but it was pretty good. I'm really about how, America has so much to offer. And the turmoil we're in now with the politics involved, the meanness that comes out of Washington, you would think that, oh man, the government's never going to do anything nice for me. But they do, because the government is not one person. The government is people like you and me, and people are doing this every day of their life. They're there to help you. And that's why they get paid, is to help you with problems. And that's why we have a government. Otherwise, we just have everybody fend for themselves. No, we have a government and nonprofit organizations that help people. And as a society, that to me is sort of like what life is about, is helping each other, right? You want to live alone and be alone, that's your prerogative, certainly. But we're really here to make life as easy as possible, is by helping each other, because life's going to beat you up no matter what. You're not immune from being beat up in life. So you have to realize that we do have a society that helps you. And this is how it shows love. And that's what we have. We all have love in us to help other people, and compassion and those kinds of attributes that we're born with. And we know they feel so good to explore. To use those parts of us is a wonderful feeling in life. It's probably the best thing in life. But we have to also take care of ourselves and support ourselves and things like that. So we have to do a balance. So that's why our society is balanced that way. Our whole society, if you look at it as 100% of what society is, well, 60% of that 100% is capitalism. That's where you have to pay for the help you get. So we help each other, but only when people pay you to help each other. Okay, now there's a lot of situations that people don't have the money to help. And so they could go and be living on the street, or they don't have enough money to get an education to be able to contribute to society. So we as a society decide that, hey, we're going to put some of our money aside to help people who can't help themselves for one reason or another. And that's why the new budget, if you're not in Washington, you may not realize it, but they're voting on the Senate now about a new budget for next year. And it's going to be bigger. We're going to be spending and increase the budget and increase the debt. And because we're going to give benefits to millionaires, they're the benefits. The middle class and the lower class benefits, they're shrinking the benefits from the government and giving them that and more to wealthy people. And that doesn't seem right to me. But I voted, you voted, now we got to live with it, right? But that's what's going on. But even whatever happens in this, there's still a lot I mean, if he is able to change 2 or 3% of what the budget is a lot. But you'll hear something, and this is the problem with media today. We hear little bits of media and outrageous stuff and crazy stuff and everything. So we think everything's that way. You have to really get away from that if you want to use the tools in our society. If you don't want to do that, maybe you don't believe in having any government programs, you're welcome to do that. And that's what free America is, right? Sort of. But we do have programs. And they're trying to cut back on some of them. And they're trying to have more programs for more rich people, which is bizarre to me. But no matter what they cut, it's still going to be enormous, okay? It's still going to be the benefits that are out there. And it's not only federal benefits. What we have in our society, you'll see a lot of times, look at people with money see a problem and they solve the problem that way. So that's why in where you live, you have organizations, that through philanthropy and things like that, that give out money for stuff, for things that you need that maybe the government isn't giving out. So there's still a lot of money there. And that's not going, because actually the people giving out that money are usually the rich people. Like Jeff Bezos, if you want to go to the moon, well, he's supporting that, right? But you want to pay rent. So that's a little different. So there are other people in nonprofit organizations that help you pay those living expenses. And they're in every city, every county. And I estimate there's 750,000 local organizations like that. This is how America shows its love. It's helping people who need help. And it's giving assets that they have to you to help do that. So whether they do it through taxes and government programs or through nonprofits who give out grants for there. And that's 750,000 of them. So there is a lot of help. So no matter what you hear in the next couple of days about how the government is bankrupt and all the programs will be gone, there'll be adjustments to them, good or bad, but they're not be gone. But the biggest problem I see is that I need help with elementary trust. Okay, I don't know what the 504 but what you can do, David, is over on the left-hand side. Now, Dave, as a member of Let's Go Help, he needs help with a 504C. So that's a nonprofit organization. Well, you go over to the left-hand side in the table of contents in Let's Go Help, and you'll see a tab called Unlock My Goals. And you go down there to Unlock My Goals, and you'll click on Start My Nonprofit, okay? And that will tell you all the local organizations. See, that's what's there. And no matter what happens tomorrow in the Congress about they cut programs, that's going to be there. There's going to be, not maybe 750,000. There'll be 746,000 or something. So it's all going to be there. Don't get caught up and say that nobody loves me. You got to find them. That's the key to all this. You got to find them. So David, go over there and then follow. It has a step-by-step who to call. And the whole thing about getting help is you talking to people on the telephone. It's not going on the internet and filling out a application. No, that's not going to happen. It may, and you may get lucky. But don't count on that because you won't get anything. And there's people, real people, your neighbors, people that want to have this country be a better country that are there in jobs just to help you. They get paid, so they'll never charge you money. See, that's what I'm trying to show. Google, and it's not in Google. See, that's the thing. These programs are not in Google. They are, but you'll never find them. It'll be, 500 million programs, and none of them will be free. They all want money to do, to help your problem. Every website we give you will never charge you money. And that's why you have to use programs like findhelp.org. And actually, what's really good nowadays is AI, and it's very easy to use. If you haven't used AI, just go on chat, ChatGPT, .com. And I also use, I was going to say serendipity, but it's not serendipity. Perplexity. I misspelled it on a video yesterday too. And go there, they're free. There's a free version, and that's good enough. And you go there, say, give me a listing of government offices and nonprofit organizations that will give me free money and help for business or start a nonprofit or pay my bills or whatever. Here's a website you could go to now and see how I do it for starting a business. Because you could go to this website, tinyurl.com/Lesco local business. Okay, I don't know, you see that upside down or backwards or whatever. I don't have the right one right now. And that's tinyurl.com/Lesco local business. tinyurl.com/Lesco local business. Those of you that are on YouTube or TikTok, type that in the chat to help other people. Because that's what life is. And you think the government doesn't like you. You think the government has no love. That just means you're asking the wrong person. It's sort of like you want to go out on a date and you're asking all these beautiful women and they won't go out with you. That doesn't mean there's not somebody to go out with, and that's what getting grant money is like, and getting help. You may have to knock on 20, 30 doors before you find something. And if you're not willing to do that, well, you don't have to. Nobody's going to put a gun to your head. But I know if you have another way to do it, it's easier to find. But I know this is a program. It's real money. Think about the real people. Hundreds of millions of people get this money every year, an average of $18,000. But the government who gives it out does not teach you how to do this. And they just pass a law, here's the money, and help you find it. And what happens, see, what really disturbs me, the people who get this money are usually the fat cats. The rich people know about this. They know, that's how I learned. The rich people taught me about it, and I would do research for them, find it. They'd say, find me money to do this, find me money to do that. And I'd find it. And it just shocked me because I didn't know about these things either. Like you, just hearing this for the first time. I mean, no, that's full of shit. That's a scam. That's a this and that and the other thing. No, they're real. It's just a scam because people don't put in the work necessary to get it. So if you're not going to put in the work necessary to get it, then that's a scam to you because somebody says you're going to get something and you don't. But it's sort of like you're going to go to college and get a degree and make a good living. Well, the odds are that's true. But whether you do it or not, it depends how much you put into it. And it's the same here. These programs are real. They give money to everybody, an average of $18,000 every year. Whether you get it or not, I can't guarantee, but there's hundreds of millions of people that get this every year. So if you want to play and try yourself and put in the work necessary, that's why after studying this 53 years now, I know, I've seen it all. There's always new stuff. I've never really seen it all. But over the years, I know if you don't put in the work, and now it becomes mostly on the phone because most things on the internet is junk and lies, and and that's where the scams are. People who charge you money. That's why every program I give you will never charge you money. And that's why we only charge $20 because I want to keep it as cheap as possible for people who really need this money. I used to charge thousands of dollars because people will pay me thousands of dollars to do this because they know it's worth a lot more money to them and they can make millions. So that's why I got tired of helping millionaires get government money And now I devoted my last, I don't know how many years, but after the first maybe 10 years helping rich people, then I said, this is crazy. Why doesn't everybody know about these programs? And so I devote my life now to helping the average person learn about what a great country this is. And it is. But you have to learn how to use it. And it's not self-teaching. I mean, you could waddle through it if you really want to. But basically, the key to why you don't use it is that it's really the phone. You really have to get on the phone to find the stuff you need. And if you're not on the phone, you're not going to find what you need. So I'm trying to get more and more people, and that's what we do at Let's Go Help. It is trying to get people to get on the phone, start calling people for what you need, because then when you call people for what you need, you ask them, where else can you go? So if they can't help you, so if you go to Find Help or somebody like that, and they have a program, if you put in like rent or something like that, there'll be 70, 80, 100 programs that give out rent where you live. And now you have to start calling. You start calling the programs and see which ones can help you. And if they say they can't help you, you have to ask them for information about other programs, because they're going to know about these other programs. So you have to ask them for help in finding them, because they're going to know it. They get, let's see, this AI, my camera is AI'd. And when it's AI'd, it doesn't care about me. So it goes all over, starts dancing around a little bit. But you get the point. But you have to do the work. And it just takes time. And we don't have time because we want everything quickly, but you can't do that. You're not going to solve problems if you're trying to do it quickly, because you have to learn how to do it and take the time to do it, and then you'll be able to solve the problem. But it takes time and patience and perseverance. So you have to be in that game to be able to do that. And that's why most of us don't want to do that. We want it to be easy and just tell me where to fill out a form, right? And unfortunately, that's not going to work. I mean, it may, and you may get lucky, and we did that a lot before, but most of the time it won't. So you're going to have to, oh, look at that thing, just dances around. It dances around. So let's see if we got some help with members here. I need help with that. Okay, for the nonprofit or the trust. Okay, anybody else on chat? Let's go help chat. How I can help you. Or how about on YouTube? Man, wow, crazy. Oh, Lord. What are the best place advice to give a 74-year-old old man? Well, call the elder care hotline. That's the dude. And see, every office, every county has what's called a career one-stop center, okay? And also, I'm not a career, area office on aging. So what you can do too is go to findhelp.org and put in your zip code. Tony, you're listening? 74, you're a kid. I'm 83. 74 is a kid. I lost that in my dust. So you go to findhelp.org, put in your zip code, and then you put in seniors, and you'll see 200-300 organizations that are just there to help you because you're a senior, whether it's fixing your car, fixing your roof, paying for prescription drugs, having somebody come shovel your sidewalks, anything. You need home help in the home, all that kind of stuff is available. Do you want to get a job? There's special jobs. They pay organizations to hire seniors, so the company doesn't even have to pay you. The government pays you to work somewhere, and it's usually helping somewhere in the community. I'm 41, great. That's the message. That's your message too. Help with down payment for a house for a 30-year-old, my son. Okay, there's a lot of programs for that, okay? I mean, for your, um, if you use AI, if you go use AI, I think that's the best place to get a complete list, is go to AI, or actually, no, I have a list. I'll show you. And these are how to find the 10 places in your city that help you with down payment and money to buy a house. So you want to go to tinyurl, so you don't have to join me, .com, and then let's go home. Okay. tinyurl.com/let's go home. So that's a free report you're welcome to, and it'll show you how to find 10 places in your city that help people with need money to buy a home, okay? And you have to call every one of them. tinyurl.com/let's go home, okay? And that's what you do, okay? The audio is breaking up and nobody else experiencing this. Anybody else have audio problems? I haven't seen anything. Breaking up is hard to do, yeah. Any advice on what you would give a new parent? Yes, go to this, single mother guide. Okay, singlemotherguide.com. Start there. If you're a new parent, start there to make sure you know about all the basic programs. Singlemotherguide.com. Okay, and that will tell you, it has a state-by-state listing, and there'll probably be about 6, 7, 8 programs you should apply to right away to make sure. And then what you do is go to findhelp.org. Findhelp.org, and you put in your zip code, and then you put in children, and they'll show you all the programs there. You'll have hundreds of them that help you with money and help to raise children. And if you want more to help on this process, here's what we do. We're at letsgohelp.com. So if you go there, it's $20 a month, and you get unlimited one-on-one help to apply to every government program. I mean, I should not be doing this. The government should be doing this, but they don't, and I've been waiting for 50 years for them to do this, so I've given up waiting and doing it myself. So we have one place where people could go to learn about all the government programs, and I know more than any government office. They'll know about their area, but not in a general sense, and that's what we do. And we have so much help, one-on-one help, to apply to every grant you're eligible for or free service. And the people are loving people. We have 15,000 members that help each other apply to this program. And like I said earlier, I should not be doing this. The government has not taken the responsibility for letting people know about these programs. They try, but it's not very good. They're not marketing experts. They're giving away money experts. So they know how to give away money, but don't know how to find the right people to give it to. And that's why, to me, that we're looking for waste, fraud, and abuse. And they're looking for waste, fraud, and abuse for people with little income. Wow. Why don't we look waste, fraud, and abuse for people with a lot of income? You know, Elon Musk is, he gets $6 million a day. And he's, and the agencies were looking at all of his programs because they feel that he's part of the waste, fraud, and abuse of government programs. But he was able to tell his friend, Dr. Trump, to get rid of those people that are looking at him. So that was worth it for him. And just on the taxes stuff too. I mean, we're looking for waste, fraud, and abuse on agencies that are giving health care to people or food to people or training them for better jobs instead of going to the IRS and collecting taxes from fat cats who don't pay. And that's worth like up to $1 trillion. The estimates I've seen is from 600 million to $1 trillion every year that goes uncollected. So what they did is this is waste, fraud, and abuse. They're cutting the number of employees in the IRS so they can't collect taxes. Now, if you're looking for money that the government legally should have, seems that that's where you hire people to get that money. You have to have people go out and chase these people down to pay what they owe. So these are the waste, fraud, and abuse to America. They're abusing our system that they said that they agreed to play in. And so they're not playing by the rules. And that's $1 trillion. I mean, that's how much the government wants to give to the rich in this new government package. It's $1 trillion. So there it is right there. We don't have to mess with the budget. You don't have to pay it out of the cash. You just get it from those people who don't pay their taxes. Instead of giving it to the people who don't pay their taxes. The audio is breaking up. Tammy, it's okay, or is it breaking up for you too? I'm going to close one of my computers. Sometimes it's a computer. Yes, it's breaking up, or no, it's breaking up. Your audio is in and out. Audio fades in and out. How is it now? I closed one of my computers. Is that any better? Any better there? Oh, and I cut audio down on another one. Is that any better? I went through a divorce and loved business with previous partner, and we opened an SBA, and I'm having trouble paying back. Will they work with me? Yes, you do that first. Work with them. And Martina, call the SBA, and if they don't say, or you can't get a hold of them, call your elected official, okay? Will they work with me even that they gave me help with only paying interest for a time? Okay, well, tell them you still got trouble, and you're they got to work it out again. No, keep going and keep asking for help. Don't ignore it, because that just will create stress and physical problems for you. Sandra, is the fading in and out still there? Is it? Can you hear me now? It's better, thank you. Okay, good, Senator. Okay, here's also call your elected official. You have 2 senators and a congressman for the SBA loan problem, and that's 202-224-3121. 202-224-3121. Okay? I'm putting up a lot of videos a little bit. There's a new program, I can't believe this, in California. That's giving out $160,000 in grants to buy a home. So they'll give you $160,000 to buy a home. And here, part of it money is going to down payment money. Another part of it is going to rehab money. I think it's like $120 for down payment, and then $30,000 for rehab, and then $10,000 more for fixing up the exterior of the home, okay? So that is pretty neat. Well, here's another one I found, too. This is in New York, $75,000 grant for small business landlords to fix up their rental property. So if you're a small business owner, a landlord, you can get $75,000. So you have to look. Now, this is a special program in New York, so you probably don't live in New York, but this is still available to you. So that's why you have to go and start looking for programs like this where you live. Now, you could do it by many ways to do this, and a good place to start is really findhelp.org if you're not a member. So do that. Right, and here's in California, they're talking about a lot of the local areas. See, local areas know that people need money because they see the people every day or whatever. They can't pay the rent, they can't pay they have an emergency medical bill they can't pay, or the rent hikes, or car repair, those kinds of things that set you back. And you go back on your heels and you don't have money, and then you have this other $500, $2,000 bill. And what the hell are you gonna do? Okay, you still have to go out and look for help. And you do that by getting on the phone and talking to people who are in the business of helping people like you. And they're out there. Like I say, 40% of our whole economy is people like that. People who get paid to help other people, either give them money or support in some other ways. You gotta find them and ask them for help. Otherwise, you're gonna come home and kick the dog and be mean to your loved ones, because the world's not treating you right. Let me show you where the world does treat you right. And that's what we live in, a society where that is true. It doesn't feel like it, but it's true. And it's usually local. And the way to find local is findhelp.org. Okay, so you go to findhelp.org and you put in your zip code, and then you start looking for things that you need. You need a fixed car, put in car. You need a new computer, you put in computer. You need to pay your rent, you put in rent. But now, then the fun just begins when you do that, because you get a listing, 10, 20, 30, 100, 200. Now I put in, yesterday I was doing some work for a member, and I found 250 organizations in their zip code that provide, listen to this, free emergency grants. Emergency grants. So it's free grants for emergency. 250 organizations. Man, now who would have thought that that is there? I wouldn't even thought that is there. That's why the world will excite you. It will surprise you. But it doesn't surprise you unless you do something. If you're doing nothing, you don't get no surprises. But if you're doing something in life and attempting something, that may not be the right thing to do. That doesn't matter. At least you're doing something, because that will lead you closer to what the right thing is for you. The right thing for all of us is different. That's why when somebody says, here's the 5 lessons to success, that's bullshit, because they're different for everybody. But as long as you start on those lessons and try them, and then when you run into a roadblock, you don't give up. And that's the key. That's why I hate when people give you 5 lessons to success or whatever it is, and then one doesn't work, then you're gonna stop. You can't. No matter what lessons or things you're gonna do, you're gonna run into things that will not work for you. And unless you go through that, unless you go around that, unless you go over that problem, you're not gonna solve your problems. And the problem and the help is out there, but it's not money. Convince you it takes money, because everybody wants to get your money. So that's why they figure out ways to help you as long as you give them money. That's why Google, to me, is they tell you what's good for them. Anybody in Google wants to help you. They're really telling you what's good for them, because they want to get your money. So they're going to tell you why this is so good for you, but really it's good. They're trying to find out why it's good for you, because it's good for them. They're going to get your money. If you go to there's 40% that are nonprofit and government offices, they're just in it to find out what's good for you. See, now, isn't that a strange feeling? Yeah. Yeah. And in a capitalist society, we forget that. And in a capitalist society, we also forget how good that feels in helping somebody else. You know? And that's why our members, we're 15,000 members that help each other get this, they help you for free because they know how wonderful it feels to help somebody. And that's the magic in life, that people don't really, the best things in life are free. I mean, there's that. We have to take care of ourselves, though, so we have to pay our own way. But then, to me, it's then how can you help somebody else? That's why, to me, I feel the best business in the world is the one that's helping somebody else, and you're getting paid for it. Now, that's cool. Okay, and that's what I feel I'm doing, and that's why I can keep doing it at 83, and probably 10 more years. Man, where else can I get all this help people? A long time fan. Hiya, Corey. I bought your first book. Yeah, well, that was about then. It inspired me to start my first business. Unfortunately, it didn't. Over the years, I realized that I've been spinning my wheels, awfully taking advantage of the resources you offer, especially after someone took my original copy. Now at 50, I finally reconnect on your work and push myself to build again. Good for you. Start with a restoration company. Ooh, there it is. Okay. Launch an emergency response service for disasters like fires. Ooh, that sounds good. All this sounds good. I poured everything into the journey, time, money, energy, and proud of what I built, but I completely I feel like I'm at the finish line. I just need some power to get through. Are there help? Yes. Okay. Now, why did that my video changed on me? This AI. Okay. Here's what you do. Go to the left-hand side. You remember, Corey. So go over on the left-hand side and look for the tab called Unlock My Goals. Unlock My Goals. And you go there, and it's a step for starting a business, and it's a step-by-step on how to get help there. Then what you want to do is find more. And you go here, TINY URL. Tiny TINY URL. Let's go. Okay. What city you live in, Corey? What city are you in? Because tinyurl.com/Lesco local business. Okay. Go there, Chicago. Oh man, there's so much of it. But you have to start calling the nonprofit organizations that help people with their business. Okay, and that's all they do. They help you find money. I go to .org or .gov. Now I'm going to go to find help. Not find help. I'm going to go to chatgpp.com. Okay. Now here's what I'm going to do in ChatGPT. Okay. This is for you. I'm going to and non-profit organization that that provide money and help to start or expand a business in Chicago. Chicago, Illinois. Include websites. Okay. Now, give me a minute or two for that. And then also I want you to go to this website and make an appointment. Apex. Oh, I misspelled it, so let's see what I find here. Okay, Apex Accelerators, APEX Accelerators, okay. There it is. Okay, go to this website, put in your zip code or state, and make an appointment. Okay, you want to make an appointment. I was disconnected. Okay. Okay, this is where how to get government contracts. You have services and items that the government probably buys. So you could get with them as free consultants on how to sell this to the government. Now, okay, Chamber of Commerce, nonprofit organization. Okay, 15 more. The aggregate platform provide done. Show me 50 more. Okay, I got 15 organizations. Okay, let's see if we get more here. 50 more, okay. Yes, okay, yeah, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, here's 50 organizations in Chicago area that help people start or expand businesses. Every one of us free, okay? Every one is free. Benny's got an AI, great. Okay, now I've been using I'm using Perplexity a lot. So let me show you what I got in Perplexity. Perplexity AI. Okay, I'm gonna put the same thing in here. So we start one. Show me maybe 50 non-profit organ and Oregon ORGA NIZAP and government offices. See, government offices and nonprofit organizations are the only ones that really give out free money. Offices that provide money and help to start a business in Chicago. Include websites. Okay. Okay, Perplexity takes a little longer usually, but not too long. And you could do, there's a super version, 50, City of Chicago. Oh, yeah, see, it gives you a nicer list to me. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yes. Good, okay, we're gonna share you that too. I should put one other thing. I usually put in there is give a 1-sentence description about it. So here's another list, okay, on Perplexity. See, that's what you need. You need a list of possibilities. It's sort of like, if you have a business, you want a list of people who buy your stuff, right? So that's what this is. So you need a list of people who give money to businesses. And that's what this is. And that's why AI is so good about that. And you can't use Google because Google is for advertising. So you're going to find people who want to sell you all the same things that the government and other people will give for free. So that's where the, the system falls down. And so it becomes, 200 billion websites of people who want to get your money. And maybe there's 100 in there that want to give you money, but you'll never find them when you see 250 million websites, okay? Okay, guys, I got to go and finish packing to go to France, okay? So make sure, if you're not a member, you want to consider us. And if you feel we screwed you over, we'll always give you the money back. Don't worry about that. letsgohelp.com. I know you're probably seeing it backwards. Something's wrong with my AI camera. Well, I got it both ways there. Yeah, it's $20, and you could be, within the hour, within the 15 minutes, you could be on and getting one-on-one help. Let me show you how much one-on-one help there is today. Besides me, if you go up on top and you look at the Let's Go calendar, okay, there's a 3 o'clock, there's a 4:45, there's a 5 o'clock, there's a 7 o'clock, and there's an 8:15 and a 10 o'clock. Holy shit. And 11:30. Wow. Wow. What's going on here? Wow. And then tomorrow we start. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, And with me, that means there were 10 hours today of people on Let's Go Help that are helping other people apply to the money that they're eligible for in government programs. 10 hours. Now, that is incredible. I've never seen that before. And they're all special areas. One is on business, one's on buying a home, one's on getting out of debt, one's just shooting the shit, I think. I don't know. Navigating this time. God, one on open office. Hey, all this stuff. I mean, see, where else are you going to get that? $20. And you can do this every day. You know, you can ask us 100 questions every day. There's nowhere in the world, and I know because I used to charge thousands and thousands of dollars for this. And the rich people will pay it, but they don't even need the money. So that's why I said I'm going to charge only $20 because I want to help people who need the money. You know, not people who don't need the money. I mean, that doesn't seem right. So we're here. I hope to be here for about 10 more years doing this. This is the only place in America like this. The government should have done this long ago. They should have a place like this. And the closest you have is your elected official. So you can always call them. They don't know a whole lot, to tell you the truth. But they know some of the basic things. And actually, what they're very good at is if the government screws you over, you can't pay the bill, you can't pay the money you owe them, or they're not giving you the benefit. You call them and they can do that very well. Here's your elected official, 202-224-3121. 202-224-3121. Please get the help, whether you use me or not. If you don't use me, just go to findhelp.org and realize that you have to get on the phone and call people to find out what really is there for you. You cannot determine just by reading a website. You cannot determine just by reading something the government says. No, you have to call them and find out for certain, okay? And I'm certain about that, okay? Been doing this 53 years, so let us help you too. Thank you for let us try.